And put your little hand in mine.
There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
Hey, and it's...
Hey, everybody.
Campers, wake up, campers.
It's cold out there today.
It's cold every day, isn't it?
Well, we'll get this bit one
But
day.
this day is different. It's Groundhog Day. Go out there to see the groundhog.
No,
Chap lips.
we still can't get. It's like we still can't get
What
it.
is the chap lips line?
I don't know. I'm not looking it up.
Something about chap lips. And he says,
Hey, everybody! I'm Randy.
he is.
Always and always will be. And this is
For
Bobbert.
as long as he lasts.
And this is Bobbert.
Hi. Hi.
I mean Bob.
Hi, one listener.
Bobby.
Hi, one listener. So
And
today
you're
we
listening-
watch we all listen to Groundcast Day.
Yeah, welcome back to Groundcast Day. This is our episode 4, fourth watch.
Mm-hmm.
And today's date is...
December 29th, 2018.
Yep, and
Donald Trump is still in office.
And happy belated Christmas, and have an early Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, the New Year is going to come up soon.
And hopefully it's not going to be a Groundhog New Year, because we don't want to relive 2018 again.
Do we? I mean, the problem really started in 2016, but oh well. Anyway, the point is...
But the insanity this year,
ramped
yeah.
up. It's going to ramp up next year, though.
But I digress.
Yeah, let's get back to the movie, guys. So...
Hey, guy.
This week, we watched Groundhog's Day, and what were we looking out for?
We've been doing our usual thing of trying to find little things that are wrong.
Like Phil from the movie, we're doing our rounds.
Yeah, we're keeping our eye out for any inconsistencies.
I think we were pretty much resigned to the fact that Nancy only appears in that one show.
We think there was Nancy Watch. We think we may have seen her one other time.
That one was in a green jacket though.
Yeah,
it was white with green trim.
But that person you said was standing next to her in the other shot, so she might have just been slightly off camera. So you might.
No, that was a different jacket. This was a
jacket.
It was a multicolored jacket. The other one is.
Next week I'm gonna keep a notebook and we're gonna have to start writing down what we're watching out for.
Did we come up with something new today too, eh?
Yeah, you were saying watch out for how many kids are in this film. There aren't a lot of kids.
Oh, there's probably something about contractual rights, about children can only be on a set for so long. We counted like 3 kids who have no speaking lines.
Yeah, it's like, no, there's more than 3 kids, because I was counting the other ones in the background, and they're there. They don't have any speaking lines.
You're more observant than I am.
Like, there's the 4 or 5 of them that are
shooting
snowballs
I forgot about
at
the snowballers. Crap!
The snowball fight, yeah.
Crap, yeah, I forgot all about that.
And they really had to film very short, because if it's all contractual, they can't film long at night.
No, they must have started, like, right at night.
Yeah, they must have started at like 4 o'clock at night from when the sun went down. It's like, okay, we gotta shoot. It's dark out. Let's do this.
Trying to figure out. First thing we tried to figure out today is we think that the sun rose too early in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that seems to have been a weird.
It's 6 a.m. and it's bright as hell outside.
It's
in February.
It's almost as if it was like noon. That's how bright it is outside.
They probably filmed it at like 10 in the morning.
And asking my phone, apparently in Pennsylvania, in February, beginning of February, the sun rises around 6:30, not at 6 a.m. Around 6:30, and when his day starts, it always looks like the sun's been up for a while.
Yeah, because it would only be like gradually getting light at 6:30. It wouldn't be like bam, full on light. The other thing we figured out is that it snows at some time in the afternoon that we never see.
Yeah, we never see it snow in the afternoon, but by the
every
evening,
night there's always snow.
There's always snow, and the biggie is that when the spell is finally broken, or whatever you want to call this, is finally broken. At the end of the movie, it snows that evening.
At night.
And even he acknowledges it because he looks surprised to see something change.
Mm-hmm. Like that's the moment. It's like, oh, congratulations, Phil! You fulfilled all your requirements.
It was confetti from heaven.
Celebratory snow.
Confetti from heaven.
What was the song that plays at the end? Oh, love, baby, whatever the heck it is. Anyway, that is his.
I have no idea what that even.
When he wakes up, when they wake up.
Oh no, it's still Sunny and Cher.
No, but after that, when they're like running to the. Oh, it's like.
It wasn't Walk of Love. I know that much.
It's a cold day. It's been. It's almost like being in love. That's the.
Yeah. Almost like being in love.
That's like the celebratory.
Yeah.
The snow came down.
As they're running in the snow. Who runs in the snow? You're gonna get hurt.
And then he lifts her over the frozen gate.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying there should have been some music change, like. oh, the snow is congratulations, a winner is you.
But
Phil.
we're not. It's like we know from watching this movie that the movie is almost over.
That's the moment he
People
won.
in 1993 going in are going to see this and go, okay, things are starting to wrap up. Okay.
Because back then movies weren't very long either. It was like an hour and a half. Max.
Yeah, but it's like you also don't know beforehand how long the movie's going to be. You're sitting there and it's like, okay, another day, and it's there to signify to the viewer that hey, there's something different happening here. Even down to his slightly surprised look that hey, there's something slightly different. Okay.
And also, did we figure out what time it gets dark then in the evening?
No, we never see.
We never see a transition.
It's always.
It almost cuts to after dark.
It's always noontime, sun directly overhead, and then it's dark.
And it's dark. And it's only 2 states the town can exist in. It's like this video game was poorly programmed. We only have 2 states: the day scene and the night scene. We don't have.
That's all they have.
We don't have transitory scenes of like morning sun, sundown, nothing like that.
So, was there anything that stood out to you this week? Any lines? Anything that made you chuckle?
What did I laugh at? I laughed at something.
Yeah, there was a moment you laughed at. That's why I was bringing it up. But
was it Ned?
I think there was something with Ned, but I could.
It was when Bill Murray violently shoves Ned back, and then he just keeps walking towards him like Phil, and like he's trying to walk away.
He just pushes him out of the way. That's
about no, because like when he punches Ned in the face later, like Ned just goes down to the ground, but he just starts laughing like
yeah, that both got a chuckle out of us. But the
first time he pushes Ned away with like a look of fear on his face, like get away from me.
The day's repeating over again. He's panicking now,
and like that Ned shove, and then Ned just keeps running after him like a crazy person.
Yeah, that one got a laugh out of you. And then, like I said, we had a sensible
so weird.
And then we had a sensible chuckle at him punching him in the face.
Yeah, but we always see him. We always see the punch in the face.
Yeah, but usually we don't have.
But this is the first time I laughed at the first push.
This week I didn't get
that shove, that violent shove.
Yeah, it was a very. It popped out at me this week too, the shove, because it was a funny thing.
And let's get to Rita's face. We've noted the look of hate on Rita's face. No. First it's the look of fear on her face when he's acting all manic. Hey Rita. No. We're trying. No. First, let's go back a bit. We're going to the first date. The first time they date, when he scums his way to like learning everything about her, learning every single little like detail about what she likes. We figured out that date was going pretty well.
Bob, what's save scumming? Explain it to the audience.
That's when you're playing a video game and you save your game and then keep reloading every time you do something wrong. So he's kind of doing that in the film here. So we figured out he got to the point when he gets her back to his hotel room and everything was going fine and the date would have been fine, but he pushed too hard. He tried too hard to keep making out with her. She started withdrawing and saying, no.
Trying too hard to seal the deal.
Trying too hard to get his dick wet again. Let's be honest. And he already got Nancy. He got Unnamed Lady. Now he wants Rita, the ultimate final boss. And
this is the beginning. This is where it all gets started. Exactly. This is where we learn to love. Which is very apt now that I'm saying that.
Yeah, that in the Persona 4, him fighting his own shadow looks like a big groundhog. But anyway, so yeah, he got to that point and it would have been fine, but then she's like, he creeps her out in the hotel room.
God,
when he's just like,
out.
At first she was all happy, she's like kissing him and stuff. And if we were like, I was analyzing that scene this time, and I'm like, oh, you're kissing her too much. He's saying, I want to go home. He should have just chilled out and said, let's just stay here and talk. But no, he's like, you want some poetry? You want some ice cream? And then she tries. Then he kind of almost saves it, starts kissing her again, and then she's like, "Oh, I have to go." And he's like, "I love you." And then you can just see the look of like abject fear on her face.
Like, oh, this is moving too fast.
Is amiss. And she's like, "What is this? You love me? You barely know me. What did you do? This is all a big setup, isn't it? You just like call up my friends and figure out what I like." And he's like, "No." I was like, no white chocolate, no whatever, no fudge.
Yeah, because he starts repeating, like, okay, she doesn't like fudge, she doesn't like fudge. What is this?
She's like, this is a setup. So Rita even figured out what he's doing.
Ugh, I ate fudge!
Figured out his save's coming. And, yeah, so we got to that part. And then it said the next thing when he tries to repeat it, and then the abject look of fear on her face begins at the snowball fight scene when he just...
Well, Bobby, do your impression of it. It was like,
hey kids, oh yeah, oh you look so and so, oh I wish I had kids, I want to adopt kids, oh I want to foster kids, oh, I hope I can adopt all of you. And then like,
let me hug you.
And then she like, yeah, they run away, and then she falls on the ground again.
They run away in fear.
This time, instead of falling next to her and like laughing and almost kissing, he just jumps onto the ground next to her and is just like staring at her with a manic look on his face, and she like withdraws her head in fear.
He's twitching. It's like it's like he's almost trying to grind up against her. She's like, no, stay away from me, man.
So that was the Rita fear face, and then we got to after she slapped him a bunch of times, and he gets all depressed, and then he does the like angry morning news.
Yeah, he does a downward spiral where he starts talking about it. It's like almost a mirror,
a narration of what's
the same speech he does later, but it's like taking the two things.
Yeah.
He's talking about the dark winter again. Like the first time he starts talking about the dark winter, but in this case, it's one of those the glass half empty moments where it's like the winter's gonna be long and dark and it will never end.
That's the rest of your life.
And meanwhile,
and then at first he says to like Larry, it's like, what do you gotta say something about this, Larry? Cat got your tongue or something? And he's like, no. He's like, and as fearful, and he's like, what about you, princess? And she's like, just shaking her head with hate on her face.
And that's not the first time. And that every time they cut back to her as he's giving that speech, she looks more and more disgusted with him.
Because I think he does it a couple of times too. He does like another speech the next day or something like that.
No. The next day is when he starts doing. It's like, oh no, this is the end. I'm gonna finish this.
No, that's when he tries to kill the groundhog.
Yeah, I know, but he starts giving that speech where he's like, yada yada yada, the groundhog's gonna get it.
Yeah, then she has hate there again on her face.
Yeah, it's just like this absolute disgust and hatred and
hate on her face.
Like pure revulsion, and you can see that he's such a scummy man. He's such a Bill Murray of a man.
And what else did we notice today?
We were
talking about the restaurant. Is everybody in the same spot? Something like that?
Yeah, everybody in this restaurant it's very well staged because it's like everybody is where they're supposed to.
So it's just like,
but we never see, for all the beginning scenes, we never see the other half of the restaurant
where the married couple is.
Yeah,
what's her name?
Debbie, Kleiser, and Fred.
Debbie and Fred are actually on the other side of them, but they're like never seen till the end. And then it's Phil and Rita, and then
Ralph and
Gus, and then like
Nancy.
Yeah, and then Nancy's probably she's like one or two tables down from them.
No, she's right behind.
Behind Gus.
She's right behind.
I'll have to check for that next time.
But she's right behind Ralph. Ralph is the bearded one.
Behind her. She's by herself though.
Yeah, she's by herself reading a book or a magazine or something like that. I wasn't paying attention.
And then on the other side, there's the guy who works at the coal.
Yeah, there's a guy who works at the coal mine, or used to work at the coal mining before it closed down.
Yeah, he doesn't have no line.
And everything in that diner stays the same, stays what it's supposed to be, and it's like a great little detail. And I'm starting to notice these little details of like how consistent they have been with the scenes. There's a couple of times we pointed out, I think last week.
We were talking about Gus is in the Navy. Gus used to be in the Navy,
and we were trying to figure out
what his job was in the Navy and how he left the Navy because he wishes he could have stayed in for 20 years.
Yeah, if he only had stayed in 20 years,
retired for half pay, man. I think he was enlisted, and I think his rating had to be something like. He didn't seem like a bright guy. Let's put it this way. He's no nuke.
Yeah.
All right. He ain't working those nuclear reactors. He ain't doing nothing with electronics.
He had to have opted out early, like not to take another tour.
We think he was either like a cook, something to do with, or just one of the jobs where you just scrape barnacles all day.
Yeah, or a low level grunt. Something.
Swab the decks because I don't think he had a skilled job, but. That was the best he was going to do. He lost it. Now we don't know what he does for a living. He just drinks all the time.
Yeah, that's the
goes to bowling
takeaway
alleys.
is that he's always drinking. Well, the bowling alley
flapjacks.
The bowling alley is the bar for him. The bar for the lower class, and not for the upper class, which is the bar at the Pennsylvania Hotel.
And where we think this time maybe the bartender there with his knowing looks may also be outside the time loop.
Yeah.
Or maybe the cause of the time loop, or maybe the god of this time loop.
Yeah, it's something I noticed. It's like it was a weird thing that popped out at me because this is the scene. It's like Bill Murray is slowly learning about Rita.
Does he speak that, man?
He speaks a couple of times, yeah. But he keeps giving Bill Murray knowing looks like, I know what you're doing. Like, in the same scene, he keeps giving him knowing looks in different ways.
Yeah,
is
he outside the loop too?
Wait, is he outside? Is he...
Is two people... No, there's an alternate movie where that guy's living the same day over and over too, and he's got a... Maybe his day and that guy's day coincide and they both fulfilled their requirements.
No, his day only ends when Larry finally gives him that tip. And doesn't take it away.
Fuck. It's not gonna happen.
It's that last bit of money he has to pay to get his soul back to get out of that loop.
Oh yeah, he's dead. He's a ghost or something.
He's a ghost.
But he can still move glasses. I don't know. Maybe he's just
okay. This isn't the Overlook Hotel. It's the Pennsylvania Hotel.
Yeah, it felt a little like super spooky.
Yeah, just that realization.
The guy
what's with
looking
this
at
knowing
him,
look that he keeps
Phil
giving
again.
him?
There's our Phil.
He's at it again.
Maybe he's just seen so many customers though. Like he's used to that shtick.
Maybe, but it was just a fun little thought, like, this guy's kind of giving too many knowing looks.
Another thing about Rita today, we've learned.
Don't you mean Nancy?
Oh yeah,
I almost caught you.
I kept mistaking Rita for Nancy because all white women look alike. Just like at the end of the movie, we thought that he originally was being bid on by Nancy and the piano teacher, but it was actually Nancy and Doris the waitress.
Yeah, I told him, we were having a Mandela effect, Bernstein Bears, Bernstein Bears
tell white women
situation
apart, right?
again, where it's like we both remembered it being the piano teacher.
Can't tell white women apart.
But this week it was Doris, the waitress, bidding on him.
They all look alike.
Oh, I seriously remember it being the piano teacher bidding on him.
Let me get to the Nancy. Dang it! Now you got me saying it wrong. Let me get to the Rita thing before I forget. Rita, when Bill Murray is safe scumming the bar scene, she's like, "Oh, what do you want to drink to?" And he's like, how about the Groundhog?" And she gets that look of like fear, hate again, like, ugh, why? I can't believe you say Groundhog.
Why would you drink to the Groundhog?
But she's got like a look of like disgust on her face, kind of.
No, not disgust, more like disappointment.
Yeah. But earlier in the movie, she was like, that morning, she's like, "Hey, isn't that Groundhog cute? This is a riot." She liked the Groundhog, and now she hates the Groundhog. What happened, Rita?
Maybe she got fed up with the Groundhog that day.
And then she's like, "I always like to drink for world peace." Like, he's supposed to know that?
Yeah, he doesn't know much about you.
Anybody who doesn't drink to world peace disgusts me.
It's like he really, his opener should have been like, "What do you want to drink to?"
And she asked him. Oh, you think he should preempt her the next day?
Yeah, he should have preempted her.
What do you want to drink to?
What would you drink to?
By that point, she already said world peace.
Yeah, so he knows.
What else did we notice today?
I don't know, Bobby. We have 4 minutes left, so let's figure it out.
Okay.
So, you said you had a segment you wanted to try to do?
Oh, yeah. Groundhog's Day in real life. This is going to be our personal Groundhog's Day. This is things that you notice that you either do every day or maybe even every week that just fill you with, like, boring repetitiveness.
And we can't say watch this movie because that's a given.
No. It could be anything.
For me, it's the news. It's the same thing every day.
Yeah. I find I have a weird news addiction, especially in this day of the internet. I'm checking it compulsively on the TV. I'll have it on the 24-hour networks, which, can I say it? I guess I'll say it. CNN or MSNBC. I'll have on, and then I'll be like on Reddit, just refreshing the page, the politics page. I'll be like, "What did Trump do now? What did he do now?"
I've been generally just ignore it. I don't look at this as like, but it's like every time I do look at the news, I'm like, "Oh, he's at it again." Oh. Slick Trumpy, I don't know. It's like
tricky Trump.
I don't know. It's like I said. That's my Groundhog's Day moment. Like every day, the same thing. It's like same old.
And mine, I'm gonna say, is going to the grocery store in our town because we have such a limited selection. I feel like I'm always doing the same thing: beef, chicken, pork, potatoes, rice, vegetable. Like it's the same. And every week they have the same on menu items too. Like
that's the great consistency. But you just named basic staples of food.
Yeah,
Bobby.
Exactly, but they're not very many. Like we don't have like enough variety.
It's not meant to, it's Bobby, it's not a grocery store, it's a convenience store.
No, that's our grocery store, the market.
They consider it a grocery store now?
It's a grocery store.
It's like it's not a wide enough
store. It'd be like
it's not
Dustin's or something like that. This is a full-on grocery store.
Really deep cuts there for
we're gonna let you know all our local topography people. Person who listens to this. But yeah, we have one grocery store, always the same crap. Every time I go in that store, I'm like, should I get this? No, I just had that. Should I get this? No, I just had that. I eat the same thing every day. More ground beef. Ooh, what should I have? Chili, tacos, hamburger helper. It's all the same crap over and over.
Well, look at it this way. I usually make a pot of soup every Friday or Saturday, usually when you're here. But in that case, it is also winter, and that's soup weather. So it's like I said, you're complaining about staples, so it's like, I don't know. This is staples.
Well, what about eating? Do you have problems with eating the same thing all the time?
No, I have no problem. It's like I go out and eat with my father normally, like every Sunday, same place, same meal, same time, same.
I mean, do you eat the same items all the time? Like
yeah, I generally it's like it's easier if you make like the stuff in advance and then you do it.
Okay, well that was mine.
Yeah, and mine was just like they said, the news cycles.
The news is the same old every day too. So that's how much time do you have?
And right now it's like I'm very much in the Phil Connors on the down slope mode of like this winter is long, it's dark,
Randy's
and it'll never
always
end.
going to be on the down slope because of his horrible health problems and horrible accident proneness. He's always sick or injured.
Yeah,
so of course you feel like
somebody
crap.
literally asked me this week. It's like, who did you piss off this week?
Maybe that's your Groundhog's Day in a way.
No.
Always being sick or injured. It's your curse. Oh, well, before we leave, that was our last piece of advice from Rita. Don't look at it as a curse. Maybe it can be a good thing.
Yeah, that's it. That was the advice.
Don't look at it as a curse, Randy. Be happy.
But I already told you I did.
Live
I
every moment, love every day.
I didn't look at it as that way. I'm like, maybe it's a little bit karmic rearrangement that it's like.
Live with the curse. Live with it. Maybe I'm
offsetting something else.
thing.
Yeah,
you're tanking stuff for the universe.
And with that, it's like we're gonna wrap up here, and we'll see you again next week when we watch for the 5th time.
Yeah, probably.
Groundhog's Day. Sorry, Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day.
Yeah, there's no S in it.
Even though it's the day
Another
of the
Mandela
groundhog, it's his day.
I think
Groundhogs.
No, it actually is called Groundhog's Day, but the movie called it Groundhog Day, probably to make it easier for the audience to say.
SEO? It's like you're thinking, like make it easier to search for.
Yeah. Back in that day.
Oh wait, no, that wouldn't have existed
back in '93.
Search engine optimization.
It was just like they don't want people walking up to the ticket going, "Can I have a 2 for Groundhog's Day?"
2.5 minutes. We're done, Bobby.
Okay. That's Karma Tank Randy.
Yeah, and that's I don't know, Bobby.
Okay.
I don't know what it was going to say. His name, his nickname.
Do not say my last name ever. I do not need to be stalked on the internet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you right now. His name is Robert
Trump.
Trump.
Okay.
He gets made fun of a lot. Trump.
Yeah, Trump.
Goodbye.
Bye.